Hello everybody, welcome to the studio. I am Andy and we are back after a little bit of a break. Sorry it's been a minute since I've been in this chair in front of this camera showing you cool stuff, but today hopefully we'll make up for that a little bit. And so what we're going to do, we're going to be working with Ableton Live, and we're going to be making this thing work like I expect a guitar looper pedal to work. So that's kind of like, I guess, Ableton Live for guitar players. So I'm going to show you real quick what we're doing. I do a improv-y guitar solo jam over top of this, and if I have time at the end, I will do that at the end, and that will be cool and fun. In the meantime, I'll play for you the sections of what I've looped out from my giant looper pedal, and then we'll build them in real time as a looper should. So what we're working with is essentially this. Sorry. So one important component of all this, if you're feeding something like OBS, a streaming system or anything like that, is to get the audio from one place to another. And if you attempt to do any of this, and you would normally do this through kind of a sound hijack, you know, sending your audio out into Soundflower and then into OBS, I can't do that yet, apparently. I haven't figured out anything that works with Ableton. So my workaround for that is using a program called Loopback. And Loopback is from the Rogue Amoeba, those same guys, Soundflower, etc. I haven't actually bought this yet, so I get 20 minutes once it's running, and hopefully, you know, all this will happen in 20 minutes for sure. But Loopback is a seriously awesome audio hijack program. It's so easy to get stuff done. So let's fire up Loopback. Now we are good to go, and you can hear here comes, so I've got basically 3 sections, like a verse, a bridge, and a chorus. And there's 2 versions of the verse. One has this spacey guitar delay thing filling stuff up, and one takes that out, so you can just kind of really have more space to jam. But here's what we got. So you get the idea, a couple of sections, and that is where, in my opinion, looper pedals always lost me. You know, like I would be like, this thing's cool, yeah, you get a little thing going, and you seem to have like one sound. You know, obviously I never had a good looper pedal, but you know, like flashback delay, decent stuff with, you know, more modern and lots of memory for you to do your stuff. Still, to me, it's just kind of a one-trick pony, and I get bored, and you know, there we are. This lets me do it all. And so I should say, since you're not seeing me and my hand in front of the Raven, I'll use the mouse over here so you can see what I'm pointing at and stuff with this stuff. But basically, the way live works, just like you're in, I'm going to explain this as if, you know, you're like me, you came into it from a DAW world, me, that's Digital Performer, but Pro Tools, anything else, and you're used to, you know, having tracks that stack up, you know, and the time runs out the side, and there you go. This is not that. You will notice the playhead does run continually while this stuff's happening, but it's just playing loops, and it's not really recording anything, though it can later. You can record a performance, but it runs, and that's, I was supposed to have a timer going here so I wouldn't miss my loopback mess. It runs and runs, and those loops just loop as you trigger them. So that becomes what you're doing. It becomes this game of loading in little loops and triggering them. So here's what you don't want to do right off the bat. Don't get focused on loop lengths, because as you can see right here, if you look down in the middle, these little pie things, that's the loop running through the course of its thing. This is 16 bars. This is 32. This is 32. Another one's 16. It's mix and match. Do it by the length of the section of the song kind of that you're putting in. Because obviously I'm not doing like beat-based, hip hoppy stuff. This is a song with song sections. And so it's cool because it gives you the ability to kind of like get on a section, say if you're just solo jamming, and let that section ride, and have fun with it until you're ready to change. And then you control when, boom, it's time to change. And what do you want to change to? I want to change this. Boom, boom, go. And so we use MIDI controllers to then trigger these things. Obviously, I could click with the mouse. You can see these play buttons and stuff. That would work fine too, but you don't want to do that. You're playing a guitar. So ideally, you have MIDI control type stuff, foot switches, and stuff to tap. And that's how you move through the loops and do your performance. And that's it in a nutshell. And so like I said, you've got tracks laid out here. And though I'm working right now in Live Lite, Intro. Live Intro is what I'm working in. And Live Lite is free. Intro is $100. Live Lite was free. Intro gives you actually some of the sounds and stuff, and it's a little bit better. So the first thing, but you can do everything that I'm doing here. This was my session from Live Lite. I just got this version earlier today. So another thing, or a really good thing, like looping. Let's talk about looping. So it took me, I had to watch so many videos. It was insane to get through all this looping and figure out how this actually is going to work. They have a looper plugin in this software. It doesn't come in the Lite version, and that was a good thing. Because I've since tried this looper plugin, and it seems really cool in the way to go, but it actually, I don't know, it kind of confused me. It wasn't quite the same as what I'm doing here. And so what I'm doing here is I want to be able to just kind of play 4 bars of something, while everything's running. Play the 4 bars and stomp this foot controller right here, which is just an extra expression pedal. And I'll show you how to map that out in a little while. But hit that, at the end of the measure and have it stop recording, but keep playing. And so the nice bonus with Live is if you go into Preferences and you look at, I don't even think it's Preferences actually, it's in the File menu. The edit menu, edit menu. You go to record quantization. This is recording on the input. So I play a little drum loop and it's like not the best. It's not so in time. It's okay because I've set this to quantize it on the way in. So when it loops around again, it's playing in time. And so that's how that happens when you've seen people do that. And in a nutshell, that's kind of it. You've got your tracks laid out, across. We've got a drum, a bass, 2 guitars, a channel for the lead, and then a kind of a sound effect thing that happens up in there. And everything goes through some sends. I'm not using them at all, and out the master. And that's the entire thing. So it's very much what you're used to. My guitar channels each have a plug-in that is THU, Overloud's THU amplifier. The bass is just a bass. And drums are easy drummer. So like I said, this is what it sounds like, and then we're just going to stick it in real quick and see what happens. But so I should say too, I use this controller. What this lets me do is I have an up and a down button, and if you watch on the screen, this little highlight line is going up and down as I push up and down. And so that's what I'm playing. This is a row. This is one section that I'm playing. This is another section I'm playing. This is another one. So when I want this top row to play, I put that cursor kind of where it needs to be. And then right here, I have a play button that will play that row. Off it goes. If I wanted to play the next row, boom, and that's the one that has less sound effects. And on to the next row. And the next. I also have a stop button here because this has transport controls. This is a Novation Launch Key 25. I just happen to already have it, and it's built to work with Ableton and stuff like it. So that's what these pads are here. As you can see, my top row ends up being what's playing and like the play buttons, and then the bottom row stops them. I don't really use them. I did map these knobs out to the faders so I can control the volumes, and that's all I'm doing with this thing, up and down with the rows, starting the thing, stopping it, and doing volumes. And occasionally, you know, this stuff. In recording, you'll see me with the armed tracks start blinking red, and that's how you start recording. So you'll see me doing that. But other than that, those are the sections. And so what are we going to do now? We're going to take this stuff out of here. So I'll just hit up there, do a select all, delete. And so now this project is empty. If I record arm our drums, that's my drum pattern. I'm going to go ahead and do it. So you can see on my controller, or you may not be able to because of lights and saturation. My top pad over here is lit up red, so that makes it nice and easy. I'm going to turn my metronome on so I have something to hear. I don't think you'll hear it because it's only coming to me in this audio setup. I have a 1-bar count in set, so I'm going to go 2. Now, I missed my stomp on my foot pedal to stop recording. I hit it just a little too late. But I also noticed while I was doing this, it seems like I'm kind of latent. And kind of. We're going to bump that down. See what happens. Different audio configurations definitely run different ways. And actually, now that I think about it, I have this setting running through an aggregate card because I was trying to set up that Soundflower stuff. I can run this directly through my Focusrite and get a much better latency because it's a much better sound card. It's a Focusrite Red 4 Pre. And yeah, so less computer, better latency. I can live with that. It's 5 milliseconds. So let's go again, off to the races. That didn't work, did it? Stopped our playhead. I want to make everything stopped. We're armed. I don't hear clicking. Oh, I know why. Since we've changed our audio's configurations, we now need to go enable the right output. So that one too, my click is coming through 3 and 4 so that it doesn't come to the video. So therein lies my error, and now let's go again. I stomped the foot pedal at the same time. See, we're all human. And just like that, we've got that whole first section ready to go. If I want to play it, I didn't add the little echo thingy in there. We'll add that in real quick. That's on this channel, so you record on. And I missed that out again with my foot. I forget that I have to do that. kind of out of tune, but that's okay. I might tune it up here in a second. And so there you have our first thing. Now I'm going to go up here to hold down Option and drag this drum track into my next 2 slots. That was just make it easier. I don't have to have the clicker on, which is annoying, and I'll just do the next 2 spots. So first up, I'm going to leave an open spot too, because we have this duplicate. I can just go ahead and make that. And that again has no effecty stuff in it, more room for solo stuff. So here we are, ready to go on the third one, and I'm going to arm up the guitar. That's going to be the main line. There's our line, and I'm stopped, so I'm just going to hit. Not going to do that apparently. Need to make sure we're on the right one. Let's. There we go. There you go. So that's the whole thing that we've got going. So our different sections sound like this. Here's the first one. So you see, there you go. It's that easy. And again, what we've done is just not set anything to be like concerned with looping per se, no looper plugins, anything like that. We're just using the natural loopiness of this program because it's pretty spot on, just like it is out of the box, right like that. As you can see, the playhead does keep running until I hit stop, but it really doesn't matter where the playhead is. Don't concern yourself with where the playhead is because it's kind of irrelevant in this world. So you end end up being able to now sit in front of yourself and kick off performance. And I think so. I have this foot pedal the way I had this set up. If we look in our MIDI mappings, so up here in Ableton, up on the right hand side of the screen, if you click MIDI or key, those are the mappings that enable you to control the software stuff from hardware things. So all you do is go over and click on the thing you want, then move the controller, step on the pedal, whatever you want to do, however it works for that thing that you're mapping. And so you can see I have these play buttons, which are like launches the thing on this one controller for all these. And the net effect of that is while it's recording and I hit that, it puts it back into play mode, which if the clip into play mode. And each one of these little things is a clip, mind you. When I hit that pedal, it puts it into play mode. And so that works good too. While I'm playing, I can get my whichever scene is coming up. That's what they call each one of those little slots is a scene. Get my scene ready, and when I'm ready to actually trigger it, all I have to do is hit the foot pedal, which is handy. So all in all, you end up with this. Right about then, that loopback thing hits its 20 minutes mark. What'd I tell you? I told you that would happen. So no problem. We'll just fire it right back up and keep on rolling. And back in the game. And so you can see how that works. It's easy enough. I kind of go from one clip to the next. And as I'm ready and I'm quitting jamming, you just hit the little foot switch and off you go. I'm going to get a Nectar Pacer, which is a foot controller designed to kind of do a lot of what this does, but with your feet. And I think that's going to be super cool and really helpful. Hopefully. So yeah, I'm going to play through this one more time. Now that I've got ample time to fool with it. And let's see how it goes. So I'm going to, of course, back up my scene to the first scene. Kick that off. So apparently I recorded into those slots inadvertently. I didn't mean to record into those guitar slots. So that may be something I need to watch for, as I've mostly been just setting up loops with this business and not actually performing anything yet. But that's good to know. I don't want to actually be recording this business. So like, let's see. Okay, so there's apparently some kind of difference between this play button. It's a different MIDI message. I'll have to do a little investigating, figure out what exactly that's sending so I can have a pedal do the same thing. Because that is not the same thing. This one just triggers the thing. This one throws it into like overdub mode. And that's not what I want, because then I end up all the solo bits that I'm just improvising. You need a channel that's just wide open and doesn't do any of that junk. So here we go. We're going to bounce the scene up. As you can see, that cursor go right up the screen, hit this button for play, and we're going to... And it occurs to me, I'm still a little latent, and part of that problem may be this right here. Bum, bumping up my gain. I'm going to kill it, which probably will decrease a little bit of volume and just make that master a scooch higher. There's probably a gain booster plugin I can do it to mimic that. I just wanted to kind of limit at 0 with that particular plugin, but that particular plugin is a little low. That's better. So, I'm not playing anything worth a crap right up in there, which is, that's too bad, man. Sometimes I come in here and I turn on the thing and I go, wow, man, I'm playing like awesome. And that right there, I just hit like 90% bad notes and not what I was feeling in my head. But ain't that music, right? Good Lord. There'll be another video up here posted eventually and hopefully soon of me rocking the fuck lights out of that thing. And anyways, man, that's Ableton as a looper pedal for a guitar player from a guitar player. And I'm having a blast with this thing. You should try it out. You will too. Like I said, the light version is free. Everything I'm doing here, you can do with free software, homie. So go get it. Give it a try. Have a blast. Drop a comment. Let me know what works for you, if any of it worked for you. If you've got questions, holler at me. Be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching. Let's shut this down. See ya.